you can't get a ticket.
No way this is happening to us.
It's not good for my health.
Football is wild.
Wrexham are still wowing the crowds on their pre-season tour in the US.
To go to America to be playing Manchester United, yes, it's great to get that attention. They really can get a pre-season.
I think naturally Wrexham's always going to have pressure on them just because they are the big team now. They're the ones that everyone knows about. You can ask any football fan, even just an armchair fan, and they're going to say, yeah, I know who Wrexham are. So because of the storyline behind them, that pressure is going to naturally build sort of the plot a little bit thicker.
I think when you put a documentary aimed at a North American audience predominantly, you're going to have to cater to them. You know, it would be daft for anybody to think, well, you know, we'll take their money and their Disney subscriptions, but we won't play over there. So we've done it. There are lessons to be learned from it in terms of the scheduling, because we came into the season a little bit undercooked.
Wrexham's return to the Football League. It wasn't the script that they had in mind.
It's been a bit of a learning curve coming into League Two after so long. Ben Foster started the season in goal and he struggled a little bit by his own admission. He said he felt at 41 years of age, it was probably the right time for him to retire. Defensively, Wrexham have been a bit up and down as well.
I think teams set up much better than they do in the National League. But as well as that, we've had a number of injuries. There's a lot of new players come in, a lot of different setups. I don't think we've seen the same back three for 2 games in a row in a lot of games.
Stockport County 5, Wrexham 0. And yes, this has been party central here at Edgeley Park this afternoon.
In football, I think the fans panic more than the players and the management team. And I think that's one of Wrexham's main strengths, is having Phil Parkinson as a manager.
I don't think there's any pressure on Parkinson whatsoever. I think the club would probably reverberate that. He's achieved what other managers hadn't done for 15 years. He's done an incredible job.
With every football fan, you're going to have some detractors, oh, this is not the right person, but his win record is unparalleled. It's just outrageous. People will do well to remember this is League Two. You know, it's not the Premier League, it's not La Liga. There's going to be times where you need to grit it out and win ugly. He's a winner, he's been there and done it, swears a lot, so yeah. Big fan.
Half-time, Wrexham were 4-1 down. 2 injury time goals. Wrexham 5, Swindon 5.
Going into injury time, 5 minutes to go and 2 goals behind. And somehow, someway, we managed to pull those 2 back. I think we almost ended up falling down the stairs, the amount of people that rushed from behind the tack end. But these moments are what you live for in football.
Well, it's not good for my health, I'll be honest with you, it's not good for my health. Sometimes you do just wish Wrexham could have a nice boring 1-0 just to keep the heart rate down.
Against Salford, they were 2-0 down, came back to win 3-2. Sutton coming back to win 2-1. You just get a sense from the fans as well, they never get on the players' backs at the race course, even if they're 2-0 down, 3-2 down, because they've got that belief in the players. They'll come good and they'll get the victory, and 9 times out of 10, that's happened so far.
Perfect away performance, clean sheet, and a brilliant win.
Realistically, I think after Christmas, it's going to end up being a 3-horse race between ourselves, Notts County and Stockport.
Stockport, you can't really look past them. They've got the similar size squad depth to us. I think they've won something like 10 or 11 in a row, so they're the ones that really can't look past them as the main rivals. Notts are a good team. Have they got the squad depth that us and Stockport have? Probably not at this stage, but that could change in January.
The buzz around the place, around the stadium, it's incredible. You can't get a ticket for any home games. The bus loads coming there, you wouldn't believe it. I was there a few weeks ago, and you had a school from Australia, and when they saw Paul Mullin, they just all ran towards Paul Mullin to try and get a photo or a selfie. It just says it all. Everyone knows about Wrexham at the moment.
Americans, when they've discovered soccer or football, you know, we knew the big names. We knew David Beckham, we knew Gareth Bale, we knew Cristiano Ronaldo, and that was really it. That was all it was. And then Wrexham's sort of been this gateway, if you will, into learning that football is far larger and more complex and detailed than anything else we could have imagined.
When Ryan and Rob came in, they sort of looked at it and said, oh, it'd be great to get up a couple of leagues, or, you know, maybe even the Championship. I genuinely feel the dynamics changed now, and they've seen the fan base, how much it's grown. I think there's a real belief now that the club can reach the Premier League one day. I don't know when, but I believe this club can reach the Premier League. And I think, more importantly, the owners believe that now.
Football is wild. I mean, you've seen Luton Town. Luton Town have managed to come down from the bottom, and they've made it all the way back up to the top.
As any fan, it's what you want to see coming up against these big clubs. we've had years playing against teams like Havant and Waterlooville, so to be able to welcome the likes of Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City to the racecourse would be something quite special.
People can say all they want that, oh, it's just a bunch of money that's come in, or, you know, it helps if they're Hollywood owners, and it does. But if you've ever watched a fairy tale, the Prince Charming, whoever it is that comes in, they are this benevolent benefactor and they help them out. And it can seem kind of lucky and random, but that's the beauty of it. That's the enchantment, is that it can seem as random as heck. But if it works out and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, as this is proving out to be, then it's a fairy tale.
I wake up every morning and I pinch myself and say, is this happening? You know, I've seen some absolute dross at this ground over the years. I'm looking forward to, you know, being 1-0 down in the Champions League and booing them off in a few years. And yeah, hopefully I'll get that opportunity.